Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, once again, I'm Doc Rodden, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Dave Dreher, and I will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. And tonight, we're reviewing Sound of Violence. This is something unique and different. You guys are going to want to catch this review. All right, let's introduce the crew, starting off with the one and only Jeff Mohr. Jeff, how you doing, sir?
I'm great.
You're great. I'm great.
Hey, I can see clearly now, or something like that.
The rain is gone.
I'm looking forward to talking about this movie.
Also joining us tonight is Crystal Cleveland, the Living Dead girl, with her pink and blue lights.
So can you see it, or are you hearing it, Jeff?
Ooh.
Or both.
I'm not telling.
All right, rounding out the crew is
I don't do that stuff
only. Don't do that. All right, let's welcome Dave Dreher. How you doing, sir?
I am very disappointed that none of you went with the Simon and Garfunkel opening and started singing The Sound of Silence.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I really thought you'd go there, Jeff.
I was leaving it for you, Dave.
No, your dulcimer tones were what we needed.
There you go. All right, that's funny. All right, what we're going to do tonight, gotta get you. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to give our first impressions of Sound of Violence, and then we're going to review the film, get into it. We're going to try to stay away from spoilers, but it's going to be hard. We'll see.
I think it's possible.
We're going to try. But then we'll wrap things up with our final thoughts, our score of 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. This is going to be a good one. I really recommend you guys sticking around for this. This is going to be something unique. All right. But before we do, let's take a look at what the card has to say. Sound of Violence, 2021 film. It's available on demand streaming May 21st. Written and directed by Alex Mohr. Cast includes Jasmine Savoy Brown, Lily Simmons, James Jagger, and Tessa Monroe. The synopsis goes, Alexis witnesses the brutal murder of her family when she was 10. The visceral experience restores her hearing and awakens synthetic abilities. Not synthetic. Synesthetic.
Synesthetic.
Thank you, Crystal. She goes on to pursue a career of teaching and experimenting to find new sounds. Faced with the likelihood of losing her hearing again, Alexis escalates her pursuit of her masterpiece through gruesome sound experiments and devastating designs. That is so true. And she won't let anything stop her, not even love. Okay,
so there's no spoilers, really, because that's pretty much it.
Yep.
So really this will be pretty spoiler free, because that is a really good synopsis of the movie.
That's pretty straight up the film. But
yeah,
it's what's in between every one of those sentences that makes this a very unique and special film. But let's dive into our first impressions. And Crystal, you are up first. What was your first impression of Sound of Violence?
Okay, so I love this freaking movie so much. I just can't tell you. Okay, so I know right after I finished watching it, I was like, oh my God, guys. Oh my God, this movie is so fabulous. And I
think masterpiece was the word you used.
Yeah, I'm really blown away. I don't know what I was expecting, but not this. This is so unique and original and interesting. I think the characters are so well developed. Okay, so the movie starts off, and quite frankly, I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of boring. What's funny is the director does these shots like I do. I like these shots where you kind of sit there and then the person walks away and then they come back. It didn't work for my short because it's a short. It's not as good and it's a short, but in a feature, it's perfect. So I really value those kind of shots. I don't know why. I just enjoy them, and there's nothing to them. But it kind of lulls you into this like slower pace thing. And that's how I thought the movie was going to be. And let me tell you though, it's not a slow burn, because quickly there's action. Like she talks about witnessing the murder of her mother her family or whatever. We'll kind of leave that. And wow, where it goes from there, it just kind of blew my mind. I think that it is shot really well. I think the acting is just phenomenal. I think the story is so cool, though. I'm like, I love the idea of it all. I mean, okay, so that part I don't want to really give away too much, but there's some super creative kills. It's really, really original, and I love the end. I don't know.
Oh, really? Okay, that's gonna be a good discussion. Yeah.
Yeah, I just loved it. There came a point in the film where I was just like, are you kidding me? Is this really what they're doing? And I was like, yes! Because it's gory, and I love gore. And it's really violent. And it's, honestly, the content is truly awful and horrific, but it's done in a way where it's really beautiful. It's really art. It's really art to me, the whole movie. But it's not one of those art pieces where it's pretentious and doesn't make sense. It completely makes sense. You get the whole movie. It's a little bit of an abstract but you get it. You get the whole idea of it. So who is this person? I don't know. Whoever it is, they're fabulous.
Alex Mohr. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fabulous. I just want to keep praising it, but that's all I'm going to do. So, yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
All right, Dave, you're up next. What was your first impression of Sounds of Violence?
Well, we spend a lot of time talking about movies, and we're always, at least I'm always saying, I'm so tired of the same old crap. I want something different, something original, something unique. And then here comes The Sound of Violence. What do you know? It's a compelling, innovative story that I've never seen this done before. Anything even close to it. It just grabbed my attention right away. Like Crystal said, we get some gruesome violence pretty much right out the gate, and then things just escalate to crazy levels. But along the whole line, I really kind of like this girl,
mm-hmm.
even when you realize what she's doing. You still kind of want to see her complete her masterpiece. I couldn't wait to see her masterpiece. I needed to know what this was going to be, and I was not let down. Again, you really can't talk too much about this without giving away some spoilers, but this one grabbed me very early, and it is definitely, I think it's definitely top 3 material for me.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Totally.
Easily.
I can totally see that.
Easily.
Okay, cool.
Easily. And we'll see how deep into spoilers we go as this conversation goes along. But my first impression is, is this coming to a streaming service, Doc, or is it just going to be?
It's not coming to a streaming service right away. It's going to be on VOD and digital outlets, like through your cable company or through like Amazon Prime, but you pay for it, right?
Right. This would be one that's definitely worth the rental. A lot of times you always say, "Oh, wait till it hits Netflix or whatever." Don't wait on this one. Like as soon as you see it,
I totally pay for this. Yep.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. All right, Jeff, you're up next. What was your first impression of Sound of Violence?
Well, I'm going to repeat some of those same words. Unique, innovative, creative. Haven't seen anything like this. The acting was excellent. This is the kind of stuff that amazes the heck out of me, because this Alex Mohr, I don't think this is his first effort at directing a feature film. He's got like one short before this. He's done some other stuff, some interviews and things, but not anyway. That stuff, the acting is great in such a unique situation. We haven't really mentioned it yet, but the guy that plays the roommate's boyfriend is Mick Jagger's son.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome. I mean,
Him and Jerry, who was the model, is the mother. I forget
Jerry
her
Hall.
last
oh,
name.
Jer-
Jerry
oh.
Hall. Yes, excellent. So yeah, his name is James Jagger, and he plays Duke. So I like his character too. He's sort of a, it's kind of like,
He's a
how do
good
you act when
dude.
you're confronted with this stuff? So, God, I don't know what else to say about it either, other than I was fascinated by the what she was doing and where that came from in her life. The sources of that, or the where that. I mean, you get, there's definitely like an arc in terms of here this person is kind of messed up, and here's why. And there was some. The other thing that got me is the inappropriate reactions sometimes to what
Yes.
So,
yes, I love her when she'd laugh and smile. I'm like, yes, girl, yes. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, boy, top 3. It's a little early for that, but so far this year, yeah.
Yeah, it's got a top spot to lose. That's right. So I didn't know what to expect going into this. I watched the trailer, and the trailer didn't. I mean, it gives you an idea, but I don't think it really exposes what this film is going to do and the power it holds. Just the lead actress in this and the character she plays is so central, and so you root for her, even though she ends up being. She's the protagonist, but in an antagonist sort of way. It's like the Joker of
She's
slasher films. But you get it, right? Her motivation is real, or you feels real, right? You understand it.
You get it because she's like a drug addict. It's like drugs,
right? Well,
Yeah,
it does
very
get
much
to
so.
that,
Yeah.
right?
That's what it is. Like the whole time, from the very first time, it's like a drug.
Yeah.
Chasing that dragon.
You're searching for that high.
Yeah, I mean, because she's, we were introduced to her as a child. She's deaf, and this horrific event that is in the synopsis awakens that, and awakens a lot more. Awakens her hearing, and she's chasing that, right? Especially when it gets to the point in the film when she starts to fear losing it, and when it hits those moments. Are some of the strongest moments, I think. I mean, it's a lot of fun as a horror fan to enjoy, the kills that are in this. But when she's, because she's such a strong character and so confident, but when she faces that loss, it's like pulling the rug back out from under her feet, and you can see it, and it's portrayed really wonderfully well, and just you understand her emotions, how she feels about what she's doing, and about how she feels about her roommate and her roommate's boyfriend. It's not spelled out, right? It's shown, not told.
Oh yeah.
Most of the acting is superb. There are some characters that are over the top, but I think that was intentional. The one singer guy is the one I'm pointing out, who I loved. Because you needed that kind of character. I will say at that point, and what happens to him is fabulous. And
he was not a good singer, by the way.
No, and that was the best thing about it. Yeah, and she did not care. It didn't matter. But and if you think it's kind of unbelievable as you're into like the hour mark, just wait. The last 10 minutes of this
are the best.
It's kind of effed up. The very ending, I'm a little waffly on, but I don't hate it, but I don't know if I love it. But but I don't know if there's a better way to end this movie. But I don't know. I'm going to highly recommend this. This is definitely going to be in the top 10 regardless. Whether it's in the top 3, I can't say just yet, because I tend to lean more toward the blockbuster kind of films. In my personal taste, I like big, bolsterous things like that. But there's always room for a film like this in the list, and this definitely needs to secure a spot and keep it all for the rest of the year.
See, for me, blockbusters just are what they are. If you throw enough money at something, of course it's going to be decent. But when indie films or when they can make something this freaking creative and just freaking really turns me on because it's like so there's a lot of love into this. Like I mean, who wrote the story? I mean, the story is just blows my mind. It kind of reminds me of The Perfection. I loved The Perfection.
That was a good one too.
A little bit, yeah.
It does
Yeah.
have that
I can see
feeling,
that.
Yeah, and so it's like it's such a unique original story, and I love that the female characters are so strong in it and so female driven, and I don't know, it's so good.
This is one of
So
those
good.
movies that I noticed that the original title was Conductor, which I like a lot, but I like Sound of Violence a lot.
Me
Sound of
too,
Violence is
because
very,
it's perfect.
very close.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's yeah.
Now it's we're not spoiling anything because it's in the trailer, but the sound is represented to her visually, which is a very unique thing. I'm not even sure, is that a real thing? I'm pretty sure somebody has to think it is, right? But anyway, my point is the way they visualized this in the movie was brilliant. I really, really, and I couldn't wait for her to get to another moment to see it. I was kind of like her. I was like, let's do it again. That was cool. That actually, and I like how they, the big reveal on when it happens is very shocking. It is very shocking. And then, the rest of them kind of build.
Yeah.
We get one scene that's a little tame compared to the rest of it, and then she starts escalating how she's experimenting with her sounds, these sounds of violence, and I think it's a work of beauty. It really is. It's a beautiful film to watch.
Yeah, so creative. So I think a ton of people. Well, I think a ton of people will love it. I think this could absolutely be a sleeper hit. I hope a lot of people get to watch it. A lot of people hear about it because I think.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we talk about things like this being a Jeff film, and the colors are definitely ones that Dave has pointed out as being a Jeff film, and then Crystal, if you're watching this on YouTube, has the colors behind her now. But Dave, you admitted in the pre-show that didn't bother you this time around. You thought it worked.
Yeah. Well, because they represent something. I mean, they represent. Her in that euphoric state, where in a lot of these other movies where I make fun of them, it's just done because the directors think it looks cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't really serve a purpose for anything. Here, when we see this was kind of the equivalence to hearing the da in Jaws. When you seen those colors, something fucked up was coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the difference with it. I hate it when it's just done as an exercise in vanity as opposed to serving a purpose.
Yeah. I mean,
because it's not like you find these lights everywhere normally.
I don't know.
Okay.
When I walk around, they're just constantly flashing at me.
They chase them. They chase them around. Yeah,
it's everywhere.
Now,
yeah, they added dome lights there.
The dome light. Them damn dome lights.
Hey, people, listen. We haven't had any dome light moments in a while. Filmmakers are listening.
Uh-oh.
They are. Oh my gosh. Or they'll come from under the dash, which is even weirder. But the effects, there's some great special effects in this, Dave. And
very much so. There's some serious blood in this one.
There's some money in the special effects, I would say.
Yeah, and but they know when to tame it back. I mean, they could have been gratuitous on many occasions, and they weren't. They kind of let the mind's eye play trick. Especially, I'm thinking of the singer in particular.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Right.
We could have gone Cronenberg, and we didn't.
We could.
Yeah, but then afterwards, I mean, we see an aftermath, but it's kind of left more to our imagination because the CSI tech kind of goes, well, there's pieces of brain matter over there, over there. So you're kind of left with in your own mind imagining what that would look like. But there is definitely a shitload of grue, if you will.
Yes. Yeah, don't misunderstand what Dave is saying. Just because we don't actually see it, a la scanners,
Cronenberg, yeah.
we definitely get a lot of red and crimson and
yes.
blood. It is
for
everywhere, and
for sure. And the this is going to make no sense to you see the movie, but I dubbed it the Simon Chair of Death. Remember that game, Simon, where you push the colored buttons and chase it?
Oh,
yeah. The Simon Chair of Death was very awesome.
Yeah, it was a mixer board, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was like. I was like, yeah, that's cute. Yeah.
Good call.
Let's get that DJ on.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely even with the gore, and it's definitely a Jeff film. But Jeff, what was the Jeffiest moment in this movie for you?
The Jeffiest? Oh my gosh, that's a thing now, huh?
The Jeffiest.
Well, I don't know, because it wasn't, according to Crystal, it wasn't pretentious. So I'm having a hard time figuring out what was.
I don't think it was pretentious.
My favorite part.
Because they weren't trying to make something that, you don't understand it because you're not smart up. No, it was really pretty much all like.
I'm teasing you. Well, there was stuff. What I like is that it was very violent, yet not as graphic and in your face as it could have been, if that makes sense. Like you said, there's plenty of blood, but it's done. God, I'm not going to like this word, but artistically, the way it's shot and the way that she's perceiving it, I thought that was great. And plus the idea that we're trying to figure out there's little things, changes in her that we're kind of trying to figure out how that's going on. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah. I loved her contraptions. That was the coolest part.
Oh my God.
And the final one was just, wow. I'm like, oh my God, look what she's doing.
She's a genius. But she's a terrible serial killer, because she just leaves her.
She's leaving shit laying around
everywhere, right? Yeah. She don't care.
Yeah, she really doesn't care about
her.
I don't think she
cares. She's not.
That's why I like. Yeah. Well, I like the where she plays her experimental composition for the class. I think is my favorite scene, because she just didn't get what effect it might have on other people.
But here's the thing: if you're doing that's actually one of the only scenes I actually had a problem with, because if you are doing an experimental sound class, why wouldn't you say, it's not real, but these are the ideas of these sounds to see how they make you feel, and because you would want to experiment with sounds of violence, I would think, because it does make you feel something. Isn't that the point? I don't know. Yeah,
the class was definitely, so the one guy heckled her, right, uptight, but he heckled her about being the sound of like animals dying, and then that set everybody off. And I don't think that was unrealistic, but it was unfortunate. And
I don't know. I guess it depends. Usually artists are not quite so. Why would you assume it was real, for one?
Right.
Maybe
it's just my nature. I usually assume all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, but it also represents that, when she's a very confident person throughout the movie, but there are times when she loses that confidence, and when she does,
because she loses her hearing,
there's a reaction, right? The hearing goes with it, and that because of that heckler, that happens. And at that point, I was kind of looking at that scene going, I'm wondering how much of that is actually there and how much is in her head thinking that people are saying, because it could be taken both ways.
I didn't even consider it wouldn't be literal or actually that way. Although some people wouldn't call this a horror movie, because technically there's a police investigation.
It is definitely a horror film. Don't be fooled. This is one of the most innovative and creative horror films of the past few years, for certain. All right, I think we've heaped a lot of praise on this, so let's wrap things up with our final thoughts. More praise. Our score 1 to 5, more praise. and our favorite scene. But before we do, if you are still listening to this review, we want to thank you. We hope you're enjoying not only this review, but other reviews hanging out there on the interwebs from us. Lots of them. If you want to help us out, it's really easy and free to do. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button down below or share with a friend. It will do wonders. And we also love your comments. We've been getting some great ones lately, and one of them took poor Christopher on H&R by surprise, and that was hilarious.
Oh, I missed this.
Oh,
that
we'll
sounds
talk
like
about
fun.
yes. Go listen to the podcast on H&R. You'll be fun. We'll talk about it after the show. All right, enough tease for that. Let's also thank our patrons over at Patreon, who without their patronage would we not be able to do this show or H&R, Decades of Horror, Heroes and Droids. We do a show every weekday, so there's a lot to check out. So we hope you do. But thank you guys for helping us and supporting us all along. We really could not do this without you. All right, let's get into this. Our final thoughts, our score, and favorite scene. Crystal, right? You're up first. Go for it.
So obviously I love this movie.
What?
I mean, I've talked enough about it. I'm giving it a 4.75.
Oh,
and
why?
Because there's a couple things I'm not crazy about, but it's not enough or worth it to mention it. There's a couple acting points I have a couple issues with, but not too badly, and a couple tweaks in the story that actually kind of threw me out. But it's not that big of a deal. But it's just
Just
short.
enough.
Mm-hmm. Just
Yeah,
enough to.
You gave something a 5 this year. What was that?
Yeah. I gave Bloody Hell.
Ah.
I loved Bloody Hell, and that's a comedy. But this movie you should see. I really, really love it. I actually want to watch it again already. And I'm trying to figure out. I mean, there's so many good scenes. Obviously, there's the obvious ones, and it has to be. It has to be the stereo. It has to be the stereo.
Ah, the stereo.
It has to be. It has to be. Like, it's just. I was like, yes, of course, of course. This is the only way. This is the way. Like, it's so good. It's so clever. I freaking hate them.
You're so jealous, right?
And directing. Yeah, because this is amazing. Yeah, I'm super jelly.
Super jelly. You're not wrong though. It is pretty spectacular. All right, Dreher, you're up next. Your final thoughts, your score, favorite scene.
Well, I don't think I can add too much more than what Crystal said. This, it's a special movie. I'm also going to give it a 4.75.
Yeah.
I think they almost stuck the landing. I mean, it ends well. I guess I'd like more of a definitive ending. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
I mean, it's kind of left a little open-ended, which I think this needed to be. If we get a Sounds of Violence 2, I'm going to be very disappointed because this needed to be stand on its own. I don't want to see this woman become a franchise. This is one that just needs to stand on its own feet. But it's still really good, really innovative. It just had me mesmerized as soon as I started watching it, and then when they threw in the gore on top of it, because I was afraid it might go maybe be a little dry. But this is a very wet movie.
Yeah.
So we don't have that issue. I fear I'm going to steal Jeff's favorite scene, and I apologize, Jeff. You'd mentioned it, but mine actually is that school scene where she gets up to teach the class and she plays her concoction for the class, and they have a rather distasteful reaction to it.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was really well acted, really well played out. Kind of reminded me. I don't go around killing people, but it kind of reminded me. I remember when I was like in the 6th or 7th grade, we had to do a book report, and I don't know why. When I was little, I was fascinated with disasters. Loved disasters.
Yes, because that was the 70s,
the Hindenburg, and all this shit. So So we had to have like a show and tell type thing, and the kids were all bringing in their teddy bears and all this shit. And I'm bringing this book of disaster headlines. The teacher would kind of be like, "Oh my god, what are we doing?" I kind of you feel like an outcast. I kind of that scene kind of harkened me back to that a little bit, because you just feel like you feel like a freak, and I think that's how she felt, and that just kind of touched something. I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm a 60-year-old man. That was what 50 some years ago. But the people can just be really cruel when they don't understand what's going on with somebody, and I think that scene actually is kind of a catalyst for her going over the deep end, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's a very important scene in the movie. So that's me. I'm sorry, Jeff. I think I stole that from you, so my apologies.
No, there's plenty
There's
of
tons
good
of scenes, right? Yeah, there's I'm like, I don't think Jeff will have a problem.
Yeah, but this is a really good movie. I had the same feeling watching this that I did watching The Vast of Night last year. Remember The Vast of Night?
Yes,
last year?
of
course.
nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, same type of feeling with this one. Of just like, holy, I'll be thinking about this one 2-3 months from now. I'll still be thinking this. So see this movie, find it, watch it.
Excellent. I like that. Find it, watch it.
Agreed.
That's good. All right, Jeff Mohr, it's your turn to shine, sir. Your final thoughts, your score, and favorite scene.
Well, I'm something's going on. I don't know. Like, I'm not the highest scorers anymore, but I'm giving this a 4.5.
What happened?
Not for any particular reason other than I don't know. But I like this a lot, and I ditto everything Dave and Crystal said. And I'm glad you picked that scene, Dave, because you did a much better job describing it than I did. It reminded me of the director of Eyes Without a Face, Georges Franju. He did a 20-minute documentary in late 40s Paris of the abattoirs that's as stark and realistic as you could get. And when, I don't know why, but listening to her experimental composition took me back to that, and I was totally with those people. So anyway, that's a weird connection, but that's what my brain does.
That's there you go.
And I'm really excited to see what else this director does. What he decides to tackle next. Favorite scene, I guess then I need to go with the Simon machine, Simon chair.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that scene.
When you first see that, you kind of think you know what's going on, but it's not real obvious how this is all going to go. And then she doesn't even look, because that's not what it's about, right?
Nope.
No, she feels it. Yeah.
So anyway, great, excellent movie.
Excellent movie. Yeah, I'll second that. This one surprised me. This one absolutely surprised me. I thought I did not think I was going to enjoy and love this film as much as I did. It really strikes that unique chord. You realize you're watching something that is special and unique in that way. And I don't know. That's a special thing. You don't get that all the time, especially for us who watch 2-3 movies, maybe 4 a week, right? To do these silly ass shows. So these are those diamonds in the rough that we're always talking about. We're looking for these kinds of films, so it's special to find one. And the lead actress is great. She's going to be in the Scream redo that's coming out first of the year next year.
It's not a remake, is it? I thought it was.
It's a continuation.
Okay.
What do they call it? Lego sequel kind of thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Something else. Who knows? We'll find out.
Lego sequel. Wow.
Yeah. That's a word.
Up more words.
It's a word. It's a word now. But anyway, she's really great. She's really great, and she conveys all this emotion and a wide range of it. And like you said, being a killer is only a means to a different end, and that end that we're heading for is something that somehow makes it through all of that, and we understand it somehow. And even though we can't relate, like how she's, we can't see sound like that, but it's conveyed in the story wonderfully, and we understand it. So I really love that, and it's surprising. I did not expect the ending, and that was crazy. Although I won't get into that.
Yeah. No. Everything's okay, Doc.
Yep,
It's all good.
I think I know what that's going to happen. Is that going to happen? Holy shit, that happened. So I'll shut up now. I'm going to give it a 4.75 as well. I kind of have to. I was going to go 4.5, but I'm going 4.75. Sorry,
Yay.
Jeff. Because talking about it really has just made me really appreciate individual elements of the film more than I did previously. I love the film as a whole. I will agree with Dave that while I don't know a better ending, and I totally accept the ending, there's something I wanted a little bit more of a
Y'all
finale.
wanted more closure.
Yeah,
I'm
a little bit more
super
closure.
thrilled with the way it ended, but
I'm just concerned that they'll try to continue the story, and I don't want it to continue. I think I think
I get that too.
Yeah.
Because at a point it becomes silly. It becomes like a Saw.
Yeah, and it could get into that. So, God, which of the many scenes could I choose? Because there's so many really wild and wacky scenes. But the one that I really enjoyed the most is the singer guy and what happens. Not just what happens to him, but how it escalates to what happens to him. Because he's just this pompous idiot, and he can't sing, but he's there to sing, and he wants more money than he's worth. And
she's like, that was beautiful.
But he was the guy from the record store, right?
He was the guy from the record store,
right?
Yeah.
And so it
They
didn't
can't
matter.
really sing.
No, but it was great, and she has what I don't know what that. I've seen the machine before, the musical thing where you just use.
Oh
your
yeah,
hand.
thing, yeah.
Theremin.
Theremin. My son has one, and I can't think of it, but the way she used it, and
They have them in Fallout 76.
Sorry. Right. And the way she used it, and his reaction to that, the way it was just fascinating, and you knew where it was going to go as soon as it started getting there, but my favorite part of it, other than the obvious part, is his voice started rising. As she started playing, he was like, amazing, great. So I don't know. That scene was constructed really well, and it paid off, and yeah, I loved it. You gotta give it a thumbs up. I think we should end here.
Yes, me too.
So I think
Totally.
we're all
Give
encouraging
nothing-
you to check this film out, right? Yeah.
Yes.
We hope we haven't
absolutely.
spoiled-
And your totally unnecessary fact for the episode is that I believe a theremin is what's used to make that sound on "Good Vibrations" by the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It sounds like Star Trek. Never mind. It's a joke in the movie too.
Yeah. He mentions it in the movie.
It is.
Yep.
Oh my God, I'm too
Don't-
stupid. I love Star Trek. I'm like, wait, what is he talking about? The what?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's.
It's not,
Oh,
but
God.
it is.
I know.
It's
That's
not,
why I'm. See, I'm
but it
sorry.
is.
That's why I'm like, but it's not.
But it is.
But I get it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to drive people insane. Thank you for hanging out with us. Leave some comments down below. Dave, Crystal, Jeff,
Get
thank
out
you
of my
once
head.
again. This was fantastic. Might be one of my favorite reviews of the year.
It was a good one.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yep. Thank you all so much. Let's say goodnight.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Time to go lay down a beat.
Word.
Gruesome Magazine.